Ezekiel, you teach on attitude, it doesn't happen. And somebody lays hands on you to have a good attitude, it cannot happen. You are the one that will develop it by yourself. Now let's start. Numbers chapter 13, from verse 31 to 33. Numbers chapter 13, from verse 31. The Bible said, but when the men went up with him, said to go up against the people. No, just a minute. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go against the people, for they are stronger than we. And they brought up an evil report of the land which they have searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature. And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so were we in their sight. Are you seeing the word of God? Now listen. Remember, when they went to that place to check the land, the people of the land, including these giants, don't understand their language. It means the giants never spoke. They were Hebrews. The giants were Syrians or something. So it means they did not communicate with the giants. Now the Bible says to us, we were like grasshoppers in our own eyes first. And then they concluded, so were we in their sight. I have a simple question. Who told them that they were grasshoppers? How did they develop that spirit? Who told them? Yes, sir. Who told them? Their mentality told them that they were grasshoppers. The giants don't speak Hebrew. The giants don't understand the language of Israel. The giants are sons of Anak from another country, from a strange language. In fact, the giant did not do sign language and say, come, grasshopper. That's what grasshopper. The giants, in fact, the giants were going on their way. They didn't even know that the guys came to spy them. The giants were doing their daily business when these guys made a conclusion. Listen carefully. Negative mentality is inside you by yourself. You are the one that develops it by yourself. You have to consciously work against it to delete it from your life, to remove it from your destiny. You are the one that must work. Everyone has a measure of negative spirit put in them. As soon as you are born into this world, the devil just plants it. Look at the way it destroyed them. The Bible says in Numbers 14 from verse 1, and all the congregation lifted up their voice and cried. Negative mentality brings weeping. When you look down on yourself, you start crying. That's why I hate crocodile tears. When people cry for nothing's sake. Nothing has happened to you and you are crying. Crocodile tears. So when somebody comes, they will think something happened to you. Nothing happened. That is when people have inferiority complex, they cry easily. I'm not talking of when people have when they're emotional about something. Once there's something emotional and it is real, you see when somebody is crying, you know this one is crying because of his emotions. But when somebody have inferiority complex, you correct him, he will cry. You fire him, he will cry. In fact, you don't even correct him. When he does something wrong, to cover up, he will cry. The Bible says, and the people wept. In fact, they wept overnight. They did night of crying. They cried from midnight to the next day. Because, and then listen carefully, negative mentality is very contagious. 10 people came, planted it, and the entire congregation of 6 million people started crying. Only 2 people refused to cry. Negative spirit can be planted very fast. Negative mentality, impossibility mentality can be impacted very quickly. It's a spirit. When you see people spread it, it goes very fast. But positive spirit, you develop it. I can bring forth a positive spirit here and everybody gets happy. For it to be sustained in you, you need to develop that spirit. You need it developed. The Bible says, so they said they are no more going up. In fact, they said they should make a leader that will take them back to Egypt. That they want to go back to bondage. They prefer it. When you have a negative mentality, you will be the one that will put yourself back in bondage joyfully. You will be a slave when God has set you free. You will create one. You will amplify it. You will speak about it. And one of the things about this life is whatever you speak frequently about, you believe. Whatever you speak frequently about, you believe it. You know, there are people that tell lies. When they tell the lie, after a while, the lie becomes true to them because of consistent lying. Now, let us go. What are the things that form our mentalities? Things that form our mentalities in life. What are the things that form your mentality? Making it either negative or positive. Making it either negative. Now, while I'm teaching, you need to check yourself whether you are far on the far end of negative mentality, or you're on the between negative and positive. Come small to positive. Some people swing very far to positive, and they come small to negative. If you have developed your mentality, as I show you what it takes now, if you have developed it, you can snap out of negative mentality anytime. You can snap out of it. In fact, what I did to myself is I created some mechanism in me today. When I hear a negative statement, I react. Immediately, I react straight. I developed it today and I put some mechanisms in me. As soon as you are trying to intimidate me or tell lies or amplify a problem, instantly I will react, no matter who you are. I will tell you, no, it can't happen here. And it can't happen to me. I react. Because I have discovered that negative mentality have not added value to anybody on earth. It turned those ones to grasshoppers when they are human beings. It reduces it to a grasshopper when you are a human being. All right, let's go. Number one, the first thing that forms our mentality is environmental influence. Environmental influence. This starts from when you are in the womb and as you begin to grow up. Environmental influence. The Bible says in Exodus chapter 34 from verse 11 to 17 that when you come into a place where God is sending to observe thou that, Exodus 34 from verse 11, observe thou that which I commanded this day be. The environment you stay in becomes a snare to trap you into negative mentality. The people you relate with say, but ye shall, verse 12, take it to yourself that you make no covenant with them, lest they be a snare. Verse 13, but they shall destroy their altars, break down their images, cut down their groves, for thou shalt worship no other God for the Lord, whose name is jealous. Verse 15, lest thou make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they go a warring after their gods, and so on and so forth. And then you start marrying. One of the things that forms your mentality is your environment. The environment. Now listen carefully. The reason why children must be sent to good schools is so that they can develop the right mentality. There are schools children go to. They intimidate them and intimidate them. They can't even greet their parents when they see their parents. When they see their parents, they are dodging in the house. They are dodging from their father. It's a mentality. When you call them to eat, they pretend it's not their food. As soon as you finish, they take the food, they start eating. Then when you come, then they are not eating. It's the environment. They are not bold. There are some other environment, they teach the children to be very proud. The children ask their father stupid questions and very rough questions. They open their mouth and fire their father. Are you understanding me? It's the environment. So be careful the environment you expose your children to and the environment you are exposed to. In fact, if you're already grown, you're already exposed, so we now need to adjust your own. But children, you need to manage them well. I remember I came to school to pick my children one day. I came back from a trip, had to sort out banking issues, make sure salary. So I came back, I said, repeat what you said. He repeated it again. So I know that's not my son. I didn't train him that way. So I said, now tell me the truth. Who told you to ask me that? Now tell me who it is. He mentioned the name of the teacher. I said, very good. So the next day I showed up in school. Madam, come over here. Why did you train my child to be rude to me? Why did you do that? What nonsense is that? We are Africans. My son does not understand what I'm doing to make his life comfortable. And you send my child to fire me for coming late. What if I didn't make it? Environment configures people to be rude, arrogant, and so on and so forth. When you notice a negative spirit, it starts from the environment. Are you following me? Now, Environment is number one. Number two, and then it happens when you are a child. Number two, acceptance and affirmation. Acceptance and affirmation. When you do a thing and is accepted and is affirmed. For example, I was told that in Kikuyu, when you take what does not belong to you and somebody does not. Huh? No. It was a Kikuyu that informed me that that's how people behave. And when you just carry somebody's jacket and just wear it and walk away, and the guy doesn't talk, maybe you intimidated him now, he cannot talk. Not me. Carry my jacket. I also deal with it. Not bad. And they can't even say sorry. No, why do people do that? Have you noticed people do that? Somebody will come now and match you and pretend he didn't do anything. And that's a hey, Bariako. And the guy is matching you. Am I right? I've seen that happen. What belongs to you, take and be using it. See, many times when you do wrong things and it is affirmed, you make it your character. Negative characters are developed when people affirm children doing wrong things. Your son goes to the pot and picks the meat and takes the one he wants and is eating it. And everybody says, he's a child. He's a child. Leave him alone. That child will end up in an armed robber. One day he will go to school and pick the stuff and eat it. I remember many years ago when watching just started, we were doing fasting and prayer, and then we prepared for the breaking of the fast. And then bread was arranged with whatever inside. In those days, we used to use, what's the name of where you were working before? KSCF. We arranged the bread and all that and the seed that we're going to use to break. We were still praying to break. And one boy told the mother he wants to eat bread now. Yes, I was still preaching. And the mother stood up boldly and carried the bread and moved to the front and picked the bread in presence of everybody and gave the boy to be eaten. Were you around that day? I had to summon her and say, you're spoiling your child. In presence of everybody. The boy came with the mother and they went to the front. Carry bread. We've not broken the fast. The boy must have been eating at home. I mean, he was not fasting now. He was not the one the bread was meant for. Fine. Being one of the children of those who came to fast, he will eat the bread. But the boy was troubling the mother that I want to eat the bread now. And the mother traveled from the back to the boy. They came to the front. I was still preaching. And in those days, I don't preach gently. I was firing and downloading and charging everywhere. They boldly came. They don't care I was preaching, sir. Took bread, gave the boy. The boy was munching it in front of everybody. The mother took another one again. Now, if everybody that brought children to that meeting begin to behave that way, how will that meeting be? When there is public acceptance and affirmation of wrong behaviors, it becomes an attitude. So also, when there's public affirmation and acceptance of right behaviors, it becomes affirmed. It becomes part of that person's life. All right? Number 3, self-image. The third thing that forms your mentality is your self-image. The third thing that forms your mentality is self-image. Self-image comes by exposure to new things and inspiring experiences. Exposure to new things. Exposure to new things. And inspiring experiences. When children travel, they are inspired. When they see new things, they are inspired. Their image shoots up. Now listen carefully. Exposure makes your self-image stronger. Exposure. That's why many times I say, okay, now go ahead, teach while I sit here. You are being exposed. Some of you discover that the more I give you that opportunity, the more bolder you become. Is there anybody like that? When you started having those exposure, you became bold. Can I see your hand up? Exposure makes your self-image more valuable to yourself. I discovered it early because God gave me opportunity to be exposed. That's why I started exposing people. Now, the period who are traveling from nation to nation at the end of the year, it was an exposure period. I was doing that to expose people to international travel so that you can have a balanced mentality. Because many times, when you do not know what happens in another man's country, you will think your country is the best. By the time you now show up there, you discover that your country is a village. But when you see what happens in another man's country, you now make up your mind you are going to do better. That's the secret of improvement. Why do people go to US to steal technology, to see what they are doing, and they come back and implement it? Because of exposure. Many times, see, Ethiopia is the only nation, according to history, that was not colonized. But some 5 years back, Ethiopia was less than a village. Yes, less than. People behave anyhow. The roads were streets. It was like 5-6 years ago when they started traveling and they saw how America looks, how London looks, that they now connected with China, and China came to build roads in Ethiopia. Before, people, in fact, till now, people see ride horses in Ethiopia. Yes. And they are climbing horse, and people are just, horse, camel. In fact, camel used to graze on the road. I was just in Ethiopia yesterday. You see camel relaxing. Now, what is bringing that development is called exposure. Exposure to new things reaffirm you, makes your self-image strong. What is self-image? Self-image is how you see yourself. How you see yourself. Now, many people see themselves bigger than everybody, so that's what makes them proud. Some see themselves very tiny. That makes them feel inferior. They always shake. When you say, I will not, say, okay. I will go, say, it's all right. What do I say? They are okay. Why? Because they have a distorted self-image. Distorted self-image. How do you see yourself? Now listen, let me hit you from one angle. Now, if I call you now and shout on you right now, shout on you very properly, not rehearsing, fire you seriously and shout on you, how would you feel throughout today? Somebody talk to me. I want to teach you something. Yes, sir. You feel depressed and down. Anybody else? How would you feel? I call you now and I fire your head, shout on you, call you even names that was not your own, amplify what you did wrong, fire you brutally. How would you feel? He said you feel down, depressed. Yes, sir. Simple. That's self-image. If it affects your feeling, you are not depressed, you are not cursing me, you're like, this guy, he will die tomorrow. Or you don't know people do that. And you are calculating, but they won't come to church again. In fact, you have to fire. It's a sign that your self-image is low. I have been in arenas and they fire me very seriously. What I do is locate what I did wrong in the entire firing. Because many times when people are angry, they amplify what they say. Am I right? They say more than what you did. They tell you the meanings of what you did that you never knew was part of the meaning. Am I correct? You've not seen where they deal with you before. What you do is pick what you did wrong, apologize there. That's what I do. Immediately apologize, and I'm sincere. The ones I can correct immediately, I correct it there and then to make you know I am sorry. I'll correct it and I'll promise you it will never happen again. Excuse me, sir. The next minute, Eric is fine. Yes. Very fine with you. I'm very sorry. We'll close it there. Now, many times, people keep malice. That keeping malice distorts self-image. Malice. When you keep it in your heart, good man says, how are you? And you keep malice and you are ruminating it. It keeps making that thing grow. Now listen, that malice you think is affecting the person you are keeping malice with. No way. It is distorting your own self-image, reducing you. And when such bitter thoughts are running through your system, it is reducing your self-image, making you smaller, making you more foolish, making you a bit more stupid. In fact, one day you will talk to somebody who never have your opinion. When you feel like the guy will say, I never knew that this guy is so rotten. Look at what is coming out of him, because the thing has purified over a period of time. That is why whenever people keep malice, they always locate somebody who is already keeping malice with that same person to relate. So they can grow yourself. When you are corrected, pick what you did wrong. Adjust immediately. Apologize immediately. Not apologize immediately keeps the thing lingering. And it will start hitting your self-image wrongly. Are you following me? So self-image. Number 4, peer influence. The fourth thing that forms your mentality in life is peer influence. Peer influence. The Bible says, he who walks in wise shall be wise. The companion of fools shall be destroyed. Who do you walk with? Who do you converse with? You know, I noticed that some people have those they converse with at different times. For example, if somebody does something wrong and you fire him, he knows who to call that will help him amplify it and insult whoever fire. Can you imagine? Today I cleaned all the chair. It's only one chair I didn't clean and they fired me. Don't mind them. That man is an idiot. So you are correct. I've always known he's an idiot. You are just managing him. Then another day, when everything's fine, they have another person they call. If you pray for them, you will not know that God has answered. It is the day that there's no shilling. Heaven and earth will know. People like announcing negative things. Peer influence affects your mentality, who you relate with per time. Stop having wrong people around you, especially people who are rebellious. You will never have a good, positive mentality. It will never happen. It will keep eroding your progress, because there are some strength of progress you need to make it in life. When you don't have that kind of strength, you always have truncated or aborted progress in life. And it's a product of peer influence, who you relate with. Who do you consult with whenever things happen to you? See, I like consulting people who will hit me with the truth. People who will tell me the truth. They won't fear me. Imagine when I told you one day I wanted to fire the lecturer that sat on my papers for 2 years. 2 whole years. I prayed in tongues for 6 to 7 hours. And I made up my mind I will deal with him that day. I was already in front of his office when something told me to tell Reverend Joe. I guess Reverend Joe may stop me, but I just said, let me tell him so that he knows. I picked my phone. Hello, sir. I am in front of this lecturer that has been wicked to me for a long time. Sir, I want to give him a little piece of my mind, because he has kept my papers hanging for 2 years. The man listened to me. When I finished, he said, don't try it. Return back home. I will pray for you. I said, no, sir. You don't understand. This guy has messed up. I remember I've been reporting him to you. Today's cup is full. I have his judgment in my mouth. He said, no way. You are not going there. Return back home. He started telling me, do this, do that. If you do this, it will work this way. Now I've told you, go back home. So I returned home. And I didn't fire the man anymore. Why? Because I spoke to somebody who can handle me. But do you know that somebody I will speak to and say, the guy will say, if I enter, we are standing with you. Am I right? Am I saying the truth? The guy will say, hey, 2 years. In fact, they are very wicked in that university. In fact, they kept me for 3. In fact, you just enter. 5 mess up big time. Are you hearing me, somebody? Peer influence affects whether you have positive mentality or negative mentality. All right, number what? Number 5. Physical and mundane things, including your physical appearance, affects your self-image, whether you have positive mentality or negative mentality. Physical, mundane things, that's materials and your appearance. For example, some people used to feel positive when they have car. They think things are well with them. Am I right? Some, when they see their houses, they feel good. They walk out as a child. See the house I just built. It's powerful. Then they ask you, didn't you see it? It's powerful. They want you to see it's powerful. Physical, mundane things make some people feel positive. When those things are not there, they are depressed. Especially if somebody that they think is their mate or lower than them have what they don't have. They have negative mentality. Some people, the way they look, the way they dress. Remember I told you on earth, you are addressed the way you are dressed. The way they dress makes them feel cool, makes them feel positive. But some people, when they don't dress well, they feel ugly. They feel backward. They feel... Are you understanding what I'm talking about? Now, in fact, nearly everybody feels that way. How many of you feel good when you dress well? Raise your hand. You feel nice. Put down your hands. How many of you don't feel good when you dress anyhow? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You don't feel good. All right. How many of you dress anyhow? Hallelujah. Now, this happens from ages 15, ages 14, 15, when people begin to get conscious of themselves. The way they dress affects them. And that's where you pick your dressing style. From ages 15, 14, 15, 16, some people from age 12, they start dressing the way they want to dress. I started dressing this, I think I was 16, 17, when I met Pastor Charles. I like the way the man dresses. Oh, the way Pastor Charles was the one who taught me dressing. One thing is on that suit area. That's where you hook it gently and you take it to the office. If you grab it like this, he will tell you, no way, don't grab it. I have few of them, not plenty. Please treat it well. And the suits always look good on him. So I like the way the man looks. Then I see the way he talks in. His shirts, you will never see flying somewhere. It's always well gathered in one area here. And no matter how he speaks, the thing remains balanced till he finishes talking. I say, oh, I like this man. His belt matches with his shoe. And then he walks with some swag like that, with some style like that. I just like the man. See, man. I talked into the trouser like that. Yes, you see this person. What's wrong with this fellow? So I began to choose how I want to dress. Then I made up my mind I would dress like this. I started dressing like this. Then I think it was Miles Monroe that I saw, the way he put his pocket square. I liked it. It made him look powerful. So I began to use pocket square up until now. And every one of you is copying me. Look at Moses has his own pocket square thing. And it is good. It makes, see, it speaks of excellence. It builds your self-image and affects your mentality. It affects your mentality very seriously. Things God has blessed you with affects your mentality. Rug in the church, good cheers, marriage, family, job, profession, career, and position. It affects your mentality, whether it is positive or negative. If your marriage is fine, you will have a good mentality. That is when you have grown from ages 25 upwards up to 60. Your marriage, your family, how you take care of your family. I don't like seeing my children look ugly, dress anyhow, wear stupid shoes, dress look like chokora. No way. Are you understanding me? That's how you should make sure your children are fine, so you are proud of sitting around them. Not when you are sitting around your children, you look like a saint and an angel, and your children are looking like they fell down from hellfire. Treat your children well, invest into their lives. May God bless you enough to bless them and make them fantastic in Jesus' name. Your family affects your, whether you are positive or negative, family. The way you treat your family, your job, the work you do, your profession. In fact, there are some professions that demands you dress like I'm dressed. When you dress like that, your self-esteem is boosted. Makes you speak positively. Your career, the career life you have chosen, and also your position in your place of work. It can add value and make you think positively. Number 7, your achievements in life and your assessment of life. Your achievement in life and your assessment of life forms your mentality. That one is when you are 60 years and above or 50 years and above. Your achievements, when you talk about things you have achieved, or your assessment. You know, the Bible says a man's strength or whatever does not consist in the number of the things he has. What is that scripture? A man's wealth or a man's riches does not consist in what he has. Huh? Luke 12:50 what? Luke chapter 12 verse 15, project it. When you grow to a certain level, you will no longer depend on what you have or what you don't have. You only access life. 12:15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisted not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. Now listen, in life, in this world, when you grow to a certain level, this scripture becomes true to you. But when you are still young, you will need something to show that you are around. I'm telling you the truth. When you get to like 50, 60, you now say, hey, I've achieved many things in life. I'm not competing with nobody, and so on and so forth. But now, you're not competing with, you are competing with everybody, sir. Are you understanding me? So you need to polish your life and build up your life so that when you grow to that level, your life will no longer consist in the abundance of the things you have. You are fine because you have achieved a lot on earth. If you quote this scripture and you have nothing to prove that you are around, you are a failure, sir. And say, it's not about what you have, Jerry. And you are trekking. You trek till you are 100. And you are squatting in people's house. Wake up. So have you understood that? So we don't misquote this scripture. When you grow to a level that achievement in life and your assessment of life is what gives you self-esteem. Remember, you've achieved things already. Hallelujah. Somebody say, thank you, Jesus. All right. Possibility and positive mentality are formed by positive attitudes. So write the word attitude, like I always tell you to write. Let me now give you clues of how to form a positive mentality. Remember, I told you everybody has a measure of negative mentality. Everybody has it. Now, can I tell you something? Do you know everybody has a tendency to tell lies? You have the tendency to tell lies. Everyone. Do you teach children how to lie? Who makes children lie? There's a tendency there. You have to teach them how to say the truth. And teach them and affirm the truth. Whenever they say the truth, you celebrate them. Then they fall in love with saying the truth. There's a tendency. You need to kill that human tendency to do wrong. David said, in sin did my mother conceive me. I was born inside sin. So you see people just talk anyhow. You know, hey, this guy is telling lies. He developed that tendency. Everybody has it. You have to kill it. All right, number one, act positively always. Act positively. Let nothing shift you to the negative continuum. Take responsibility in a positive way. Take responsibility in a positive way. That is T. T. Turn negatives into positives. Stop amplifying bad things. Turn negatives into positives. I'm trying to teach you how to form a positive spirit and a possibility spirit. Whenever you see anything negative, don't come and tell us, hey, it is not good. I don't like people that always come with bad news. I don't like people like that. Tell us what you have done to make it good. No matter how bad the situation is, tell us what you have done to make it good. You came, you made the camera shaking. Make it not to shake again. Don't come and tell us, that camera, in fact, 2 years ago I saw it like that. In fact, last year, yesterday, it was just shaking like this. It was bad. I don't like people like that. Are not too, they are toxic. Toxic people. Learn to turn every negative you see into positive. Do your best first. The next one is I. Imitate excellence and possibilities. When you see someone that works in possibility realm, follow that person. Imitate excellence and possibilities. Imitate excellence and possibilities. When you see something well done, you to do your own well. When you see things fantastically done, you to do your own well. Imitate good things. Stop imitating bad things. Especially when you see somebody with a positive mindset. The next one is turn fears into positive focus. Whatever is making you afraid, turn it to a positive focus. When you focus on it with a positive mindset, it will turn out that way. I discovered that everything on earth takes the shape of your mind. I repeat, everything on earth takes the shape of your mind. If your mind is positive, you shape that thing to be like you. If your mind is negative, you shape it to be negative. Everything on earth takes the shape of your mind. Uncover your hidden talents and gifts to turn things around positively. Whenever you see anything that is negative, why don't you ask God, is there any talent I have in me to change this thing and make it positive? Is there any gifts I have? I'm not talking of only in church. Everywhere you go to, make it your lifestyle. The next one is develop yourself positively every day. Develop yourself positively every day. Every day you show up on earth, develop yourself positively. Don't go back to your vomits. The next one is expect and create the best always. Expect the best and also create it. Stop looking for who to blame. How do I form a positive attitude? Now I'm giving you the attitude one. Now let me show you how to form it. One, the first way is called classical conditioning of the mind. Classical conditioning of the mind. This is part of serious psychology, but the spiritual aspect is what I'm showing you. Classical conditioning of the mind. What does that mean? Then you copy it. One day we went to Nigeria and we landed in Abuja, and they told us that the road from Abuja to where Reverend Joe's camp is, that they are killing everybody there, that people are dying. And I closed my eyes. I said it's a lie. I remember I went home with my wife and 2 sons that period. Got very safely. What I operated was positive mindset. No evil before me. That's what the Bible tells me. Chapter close. Are you hearing me? When you see someone operating a positive mindset, condition your mind. See, it pays this man. He keeps thinking positive. Can't I also think that way? You are driving your car and the thing does correct and say, stop that! But somebody with a negative mindset say, hey! The car engine has knocked. You do correct. Look at what I'm saying now. He will call the panebita, call the mechanic, call the plumber, call the carpenter, that they should come because the car has scattered. If it was a good place, somebody will check it for you and say, nothing's wrong with your car, sir. Fire the throttle very well and take off. But in a bad place, the carpenter will say, it is the upholstery that spoils. The plumber will say, the water pump from the radiator has scattered. The mechanic will say, the engine has not. All of them will collect money from you because you are a foolish man. 1 million naira to 1 million shillings to fix the car. What have I gained? Nothing. And I asked some leaders here to go and make sure that we pay according to the condition, to do the right thing they should do. I don't know whether they were afraid of the management there, or I don't know what was wrong. I insisted. I said, we are not paying that amount. The 100 and 120 will pay a specific amount. If we are more than that, we pay another amount. If we are less than 90, we pay a certain amount. I think that they were about 100 or thereabouts. So let us pay the stipulated amount. They said, no way. We are supposed to pay more. We are not paying more. We are not thieves here now. So I asked them a question. What will you gain if you lose 30,000? I think 30,000 was at stake. What will you gain? It created problems. Okay, fine. They went there, created more problems. They said, all right, now relax. I will go myself. So I went there, showed them. This is what you guys said. This is what happened. Reconcile it. The manager said, you are correct, sir. You are not supposed to pay the 30,000. And they gave me the 30,000. I think Philip followed me that day and returned back. And I called and said, what did you gain by creating more problems for the church? What is the gain? Always ask yourself, with this wrong mentality that I have now, shouting and amplifying the problem and making things worse than I met it, what value has it added to me? When you notice not adding value to you, what do? Change. Adjust that mentality immediately. Number 2, Operant conditioning, OPERANT. Operant conditioning of the mind can help you frame your mind. This is when people hate, complain, and disapprove your negative attitude. When people always complain about what you are doing that is wrong, say, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? When you see that people are always complaining, disapproving, and they are not affirming the bad attitude, what do? Change it. Change it. Many times, people now reinforce that attitude and say that's the way we are in our family. We are liars. We used to lie. Or we are always behaving that way. Now listen, one of the major attitudes that everybody needs to change is the slippery attitude. I remember when I came to Kenya first, somebody told me that in Kenya, people are very slippery. They are not dependable. I repeat with emphasis. Somebody told me that people here are slippery and they are not dependable. That you will not be branded to be that way. You are dependable. When you say you will do a thing, you do it. Not only look at how to adjust a bit. You know, I was talking to Sister Dorcas in the house that, have you joined the goalpost shifters? Because when I came to Kenya, a pastor was admonishing me, said, be very careful. In Kenya, people shift the goalpost regularly. The goalpost is here. By the time they see that you are coming with the ball, they carry the goalpost and move it. So when you hear that, they say it's over the bar. When you are coming again, they shift it again. Goalpost does not stay in one place. I say wonderful. The goalpost always shifts. How does that happen? Somebody will tell you it's coming by 1. Later I shift it to 2. Later it's not 2:30. Later it's not coming again. Later you call him, you won't even pick his calls. That's how it happens. Somebody will tell you, don't worry, sir, I will do this. I swear, I will do it for the rest of my life. Just give him 2 weeks. He will do graduate. After 2 weeks, he has changed. He has shifted the goalpost. When you call him, he say, in fact, some of them will tell lies. My father was almost dying. You know those lies? I know them. My grandmother was looking for life. They will just locate one major lie to tell. My office. You know, they just say something to just shut you up. That is part of shifting goalposts. Now, when you notice that is what happens, why don't you shift away from it and don't brand yourself with it? That negative branding. Remove your name from it. Are you hearing me? Number 3, the third way to form a good attitude is observation of your mentors. Observe your mentor. When you see a mentor that have a positive spirit, follow that spirit. Observe a mentor that has got a positive spirit. When you love someone and you respect that person, and you see the person doing things with a positive spirit and is succeeding, follow it. Number 4, persuasive positive influence. Choose those that influence you. Choose the positive ones. Persuasive positive influence. Locate people that can influence you positively. Choose those that influence you. Number 5, emotional satisfaction. What you do, does it satisfy your emotion? Some people are happy when they do bad things, when they do negative things. When they come and say, there's problem. Oh, in fact, we can't leave the church. The whole world has scattered. And they see people shaking. They are very happy. What you do, does it satisfy emotionally? Does it satisfy other people also? Or you enjoy it when you see people shaking because of your negative news? The Bible says, so the 10 spies brought a bad news, and people cried from night till the next day. When you do right things, you will feel good. Especially when you see people getting the right result from it. You will be happy. How do I form or construct a possibility mentality? Number 1, get positive information. Always get positive. Don't assume. One of the major problems our generation have is the problem of assumption. For example, some of you have assumed the way I will behave. Some of you used to assume it. That's why some people, when they see me coming, they pretend. They have assumed he won't answer me. Stop assuming. Do the right thing. Stop the problem of assumption. Assumption always gets you on the wrong side. Get positive information. Always look for information first. Why did the car do ke? Get positive. Don't conclude say, the engine has not. Get the information. Stop assuming. Get number 2. But all these things have scriptures. Psalm 40 verse 7. The Bible says down. He said, I, lo, come. In the volume of the books it is written of me. The same scripture is repeated in Hebrews 10 verse 7. There is something written. There is the right information about what you need to know. Get it. Go back to the manuals. Get the right information. When you get the right information, you will know the right solution. But when you have the wrong information, you will always be on the wrong side. See, if you want a positive mindset, get the right information. Whenever people come to me and amplify bad things, if you are maybe you are very old and I cannot tell you that you are telling lies, I will tell you I've had. Thank you very much, sir. I will think about it. I'll get back to you. You just got this kind of information. Especially when I got that the thing you are trying to tell me is to instill fear into me. And you know there are people that rule this world by instilling fear in people. They like intimidating people. Always look for the right information by yourself. There is a correct information about everything. Number 2, think on positive things only. Think, meditate on positive things only. Try not to put wrong things in your mind to meditate. Think on positive things only. Positive things. Whenever bad things want to enter, push them out. I was reading a book, The Spirit of Ownership. You can own your thought. Choose what to think. Choose what to think. Own it. All right, let's go. Number 3. Make positive decisions. Stop making decisions as I will just do anything. I will just cut everywhere. I will just misbehave. I will just walk away. I will not be serious again. You are hurting yourself. Very soon, your life will not be a serious life. Decisions and think they will clap for you. Listen, when the negative result comes, it is on you. When it comes, temporarily, your negative decision can affect people, but ultimately it will affect you. The biggest attack will come on you. Scattered, brief, everything. The church kept on, but at least he tried to shake the church and he left. He was happy that the church was under attack because those kind of wicked things create joy in the person who did it. But many years later, he finished school and couldn't get a job, and things were no more well with him. Yes. Few years down the line, 2-3 years down the line. Now he remained that way, left it that way, and kept on flowing. Until one day, his mom became sick at the point of death. And the word of the Lord came that he needs to apologize to those, she needs to apologize to those she has wronged. I remember clearly. They came back and started sending for me. As at that time, the repercussion of the seed sown started coming. See, the ultimate result of doing evil ends up on you. The thought was, if we behave anyhow and scatter the church will close. The church did not close. Grace kept the church. So they started sending people to me. Please, we apologize. We are sorry for this. We are sorry for that. They carried something. At first I said, I'm not going nowhere. If you are the one that wants to die, you know what you did. So sort yourself out with God, not me. Until Reverend Joe called and said, go and pray for them. Forgive them. Or else they will remain like that. So I remember I went to Pastor Dennis. We went and I prayed the first prayer. When I prayed, the Lord God Almighty answered. They said water was gathering to this woman's stomach. They don't know where the water was coming from. They have brought out like 3 or 4 buckets of water. And the water keeps coming. When I was entering the hospital, they gave us special uniform to wear and nylon to wear as shoe. It was one special hospital like that because of this kind of sickness. They said anybody that enters there can reinfect and bring more diseases inside. It was a serious ICU. There were gadgets I've never seen before. I only saw those gadgets when I traveled to preach in New Jersey, USA. That's when I saw those kind of powerful gadgets. It's there in Nairobi here. So I entered wearing nylon shoes, wearing some clothes like somebody going to hand. You know those people how they dress when they treat Ebola. They cover all of you. You won't touch the person with your real hand. You have to touch the person with sanitize. They have to spray something on your shoe before you enter. So I entered there. And when I entered, the woman said, I'm very apologize. Please, I'm very sorry. I know I've wronged you. I've done many things wrong. Please forgive me. I did it in the flesh. Please forgive me. I said, all right, you are forgiven. God has spoken to me. That's why I'm here. Or else I will not come. In the name of Jesus, you are forgiven. So I order your healing now. As I said, now everywhere shook. And I said, that's the end. Have a nice day. And I stepped out. Within 24 hours, the water stopped flowing. She was normal. She was discharged. When I got to the car park, the young man that wrote all the letters knelt down and said, pray for me, sir. My life has been stagnant since I began to attack. As you see, you will attack. 5 people will go, 2 people will go. You will shake everywhere. After a while, other people will come, will forget that you did that. But the ultimate problem settles on you. The ultimate. So what you do is create a positive mentality. Stop having a negative mentality about the thing. Whenever something's making you bitter, why don't you confront it? Confront it. Open your mouth and say, excuse me, sir. There is something I don't understand. Maybe it is me that is wrong, sir. The thing is paining me. Then the guy explains. And then you are on the same page and it helps you. Develop a positive mentality. Don't have a negative mentality to deal with issues. Negative mentality comes from toxic interactions. Toxic. Toxic interactions. Make right decisions. Number 4, take right actions. Always ask yourself, what I'm doing now, is it the right action? What I'm about to do now, is it the right thing to do? Okay, everybody, point at me. Everybody try. Point at me. Very good. Point now, everybody. Point. Are you pointing at me? Point. Very good. Check your hand. How many fingers are pointing at me? Are you sure? Check it very well. How many? It depends on how you do your hand. There's a way you do your hand, 2 will be pointing at me. There's a way you do your hand, 1 will be pointing at me, the other will be pointing at your neighbor. But check well, how many is pointing back? Have you seen? Point to me again, point to me again. Hey, release fire on me, release fire. Get very angry, release, say, oh yeah, apostle, collect some fire. Have you seen that 1 is pointing at me? Another 1 is hurting your neighbor that didn't know whether there's fire or not. Have you seen that one? Point to this side. This one. Then this other 3 is releasing fire back to your life. Tap your neighbor, say, be very careful. Always take the right action. Every wrong action you take times 3 will come back to you. Every wrong action you take. That's how life operates. When you start reaping it, you reap it good measure, press down, shake it together times 3 of what you did to others. Be careful not to take wrong actions. All right? Take the right action. Number 5. Continue taking the right action. Continue taking the positive action. Continue it. Don't stop doing it. Continue taking the right action. The Bible says in Galatians 3 verse 10, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in this book of the law to do them. When you stop doing the right thing, you are cursed. The Bible says to us, whoever keeps the whole law, James 2 verse 10, whoever keeps the whole law and yet offended in one point, he is guilty of all. Can everybody read that scripture? 1 to go. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of how many? All. You do some right things, then you do others wrong. You are guilty of all. You use your bad to cancel all the good you've done. That's what it happened. Guilty of all. All right, so form a positive and possibility habit. Do what? Form a positive and possibility habit. Form it. Form a positive and possibility habit. Stop amplifying impossibility. And it's not possible. I can't make it. It is difficult. Unfortunately, in fact, delete those vocabularies from your statement, from your words. Impossible. It is difficult. I can't make it. Unfortunately, all those, remove them. All those statements bind you. They are words to bind. B-I-N-D, bind, like you bind devil. That's what you're doing to yourself. Delete them. I don't use. Have you ever heard me talk to you and I say unfortunately? I don't use such words. I know they are wicked words. I don't use them. Somebody sent a text to me and said, unfortunately, I think last week, unfortunately, I could not make it to the fellowship. I said, what? So I asked the person, what is unfortunate about it? The word unfortunate is always used when somebody has died and it cannot be repaired again. Madam, next week you can still be in the fellowship. So what is unfortunate that you are not around today? Don't say I couldn't make it today. By the grace of God, I'll be there. No. When you want to use the word unfortunate, it means there is no repair. Unfortunate. The word fortunate is taken from the word fortune. It's too heavy a word to be used to describe one or two things. It is difficult. When I first came to Kenya, the first thing I saw is tricky. They will do hand like this, tricky. Are you understanding me? Delete those vocabularies. They are not okay. When you say it is tricky, it means you are not reliable. Are you coming by now and say it's tricky? Yes or no? I can't make it. Stop hanging life in the balance. Making people beg you, call you, check you. You say, I will confirm. I will confirm. It's tricky. I will confirm. When will you confirm? See, when you keep sowing that seed, one day they will hang your life in the balance. Because whatever you sow, you reap. Remember when you point like this, then it comes back to you. One day, the doctors will be asked, can it? Many people think it's a proof of their importance. A proof of foolishness. I told you the story of a certain man that they told us when we were young. You know, in Nigeria, they tell you a lot of stories to form your mentality. A certain man was very famous in a certain place. He plays flute for the king. And the king loved him so much. Whenever he plays, if the king is sick, the king will become well. Whenever the king is depressed, they'll go and bring him. When the king will come back alive. He plays very sweetly. He was anointed to play. So after a while, he began to feel very important. He felt he was indispensable. So he told his wife that he wanted to know how important he was in that place. So he told his wife that they should plan, and the wife should tell everybody that he had died. And that the wife should put banana on top of the bed and cover it and say that is dead body. If they insist to bury him, that the wife should quickly put the banana and say, he told them that nobody should see his dead body except his wife. That the wife should carry the coffin inside, put the banana inside, banana stump, and cover it. Since banana stump is very heavy, and seal it and say nobody must see his dead body. That was the covenant he had with her. The wife agreed to the plan. He said, let us see how important he was. When people heard he had died, the king cried. People cried. They brought money. They gave him a state burial. They buried the banana. The wife took the thing inside, carried the banana stump, put inside, arranged it looking like a human being, sealed it and brought it out. People thought it was him. People cried that day. They cried and they buried him. After a while, somebody started playing flute again. And the king started telling him how he would like it played. And the guy started growing. This man left the town and was watching to know how important he was from afar off. He would dress in a very rough way and come and be checking whether they like him. For days, people were crying. They were pained because they believed he had died. So he'd be coming and watching them. So after a while, one guy started playing small. And after some time, practice makes perfect. He became more professional and sweeter than this other guy. In fact, he was very humble. He was not proud. This man, they need to pay him before he comes. But this guy doesn't even need money. He saw it as a privilege to play for the king. So the king fell in love with him more than this guy. When he saw that they have replaced him, he appeared one day in the palace and said he's alive. The king said, no, you have died. The king gathered sand and poured on him. People started pouring sand on him because in the part of the world where we came from, if you die, they pour sand on you. They gathered sand and started pouring. Say, get out, you have died. It's your ghost. He said, I'm not a ghost, it's me. They said, no way, we don't want you anymore.
He said, I deceived the people. It was a game. Say, we played the game. You have already won this game. You have died. Fine. They poured sand on him and drove him out. In fact, the king placed a decree that he's banished from that place. That this is a ghost. Ghosts are banished from here. So they checked him out. What happened to him was pride. He wanted to know how important he was. And he decided to use death. Stop trying to check how important you are by not confirming. You are neither here nor there. I will confirm later. Takupigia. Call me. Call me. You know that's the major statement here. Call me. So everybody have to be calling you. Change. When you need to call somebody, call straight. Say things straight. Don't leave people hanging. When you leave people hanging, one day they will leave you hanging somewhere. It's what you planted. You will reap it. And one of the things about harvest is that you reap 100-fold. Especially bad things. It knows how to come back in 100-fold. Bad things. It doesn't come back in 30-fold or 60. It comes in 100. Are you understanding? So work at it. Be dependable. Be reliable. All right, let's go. Form a positive habit. Grow it into a positive attitude. Within 7 days, you can form a positive habit. Within 7 days. Or doing something over and over and over and over again. In fact, if you do it like 7 times a day for 7 days, it's already a habit. In fact, it's more than a habit. Then you grow it into a positive attitude by doing it for 21 days. Do it regularly, do it regularly, do it regularly. It enters into your bloodstream and changes your lifestyle. Why is Odongo always walking up and down? What happened? I've seen him leave that camera like 4 or 5 times now. What's going on here? Let somebody else. The next one is grow that positive attitude into a positive character by doing the same thing for 1 year. A certain man asked me to come and speak in his meeting in Ilorin, and he was sharing with another man. I said, I asked Apostle Eric to come. Are you sure he will make it? Hope he will make it, since he's speaking somewhere in Lagos and the meeting is very important that he's speaking in. Hope he will make it. One man asked him, said, did you talk to Apostle Eric himself? He said, yes. What did he say? He said, by the grace of God, he will make it. He said, excuse me, go and sleep. He will make it. If he won't make it, he will tell you straight. We know him for many years. That's what he talks. If he will come, he will. If he won't come, he will tell you straight that he won't make it. Chapter closed. There were many factors that would have made me not to make it. But because I've already spoken, that's why I made it. So I put things right. It was tough. We had to leave for the airport by 4 a.m. Flew down to the place and got to the meeting. Delivered and went. He said they asked him, what did he say? Did he tell you he's coming? He said, yes. If he told you he's coming, go and sleep, he will come. Did he tell you he will not come? He said he's not coming. He's not coming. Close the chapter. He doesn't play games. Let people know your personality. Go and take your seats. Since you're running up and down, when you gather yourself together, you can take the camera. Cameras are not to be left and walk. Imagine I'm teaching you now and I drop the mic and I go and urinate for a while. I don't know what he goes to do. This is the 6th time he gets up. It's a wrong attitude. Are you seeing that? That thing that you're doing is very wrong. When you're on the camera, you remain there till the service is over. Just 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. You've left them more than 6 times. Please change that. If you keep doing that, one day you will walk away from your wife when she needs you the most. One day you will. Finally, let that positive attitude become your destiny. Let it become your destiny. Let that positive attitude become your destiny for the rest of your life. Behave that way. Be reliable. Be dependable. Stop amplifying negative things.
it doesn't add value. Stop celebrating it. Change your mindset. Reorganize it. I have taught you in a very simple way how to handle your mindset. Now, if it is beyond this, it means it's a demon or a spirit that forces you to behave wrongly. If it's beyond this simple teaching now, it means it's a demon forcing you. Especially, now listen, if you have noticed you always force negative things down people's throats, you want them to do it your way, and you know your way is the wrong way, and people are resisting, and you are